Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about all the major news in terms of professional wrestling. We talk about all the action inside and outside of the ring, all the backstage curtain calls, all superstar inactive statuses, injury updates. If everything surrounds the world of professional wrestling, it's here talking about this podcast. Sorry, but it sounds like I might be losing my voice. It's okay. Your boy E here from the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast is feeling a little bit under the weather, but it's okay, as long as you guys could accept me and my hoarse voice, as well as me, with this attitude of chugging Robitussin and Dayquil all day long. I'm just kidding. No, it's not that bad. But overall, drinking cough medicine leaves you, just a little loopy, just a little bit. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We have a great show for you today on tap. We're going to talk about our AEW Dynamite review. We're going to talk about our TNA Ring of Honor. We're going to preview those episodes tonight. That's happening right now. And we're also going to talk about, in our third segment, Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio possibly being in a rom-com. Recently, in an interview with Liv Morgan, was talking about her recent acting, her actress stints with Chucky and a couple other movies that I cannot identify at this moment. She's fully into herself. She feels like she can. And, she can, in fact, be an actress. And she was kind of, totally kayfabe. Well, then again, I'm not too sure if Dominic Mysterio could actually pull off, maybe he can be like that, that D-bag, ex-boyfriend in the movie, but I don't think he's that guy that, if you ever watched a Hallmark Channel Christmas movie or, Lifetime movie where someone finds they're so bright and Prince Charming, the ideal character never really comes up as Dominic Mysterio. So, Liv Morgan talks about him being in a rom-com with him. So, we're gonna talk about it just a wee little bit. We're also gonna talk about Jim Johnston. Jim Johnston has recently been fired from WWE. We're gonna talk about that. And in our fifth and final segment, we're gonna talk about some Mike Tyson, Iron Mike Tyson, taking on Jake Paul in a boxing match on Friday. We're gonna talk about that, and it's all gonna be gravy, baby. But before we get on into any of that, I want to remind you guys to go ahead and hit up that super chat, whether you guys got a burning question or a hot take in terms of professional wrestling. Here at the GSMC Sports Network, we want you guys to know that we are, we are all ears. Make sure if you have something you want to, that you've been absolutely dying to get off your chest, make sure, just send it up in the chat. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I hate shy people. No, I'm just kidding. Me and myself, I see myself as a shy guy, but at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. And, being shy is just, just you being a little insecure about going out there and, showing people your true personality. At the end of the day, guys, guess what? At the end of the day, we're all human beings. You shouldn't judge other people. Although, that's going out on a huge ledge because other people do love judging other people. But at the end of the day, just kind of think about it. You're like, you know what? I'm going to go out there and I'm going to be myself. So go ahead and be yourself on this GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast and tell me, guys, how you feel. And if you really want to make sure a comment, question, or concern gets noticed on air, why not use that super chat? It's that $sign next to that chat box right there. Anything and everything you put inside that chat box will be guaranteed to be featured on the show. Plus, it's a great way to be a hero. Be a hero and save this channel. I'm just kidding. No, make sure, whatever you guys donate is going to be featured on the GSMC Sports Network. We obviously need your guys' we need your support. A lot of these passionate podcasters, we have these podcasts that only, we only have one goal in mind, is to bring you guys as much interesting, entertaining, and, juicy sports content that you guys love to consume so much. And guess what? It's absolutely 1,010% free if you subscribe, if you like and subscribe to the show, to the network. So, don't be afraid to do it. We are super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily on the GSMC Sports Network. This show is all about keeping the conversation going, making sure you guys feel like your voice is heard. So let's keep those, let's get this conversation going. Let's get this party started. Let's send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome, and together we will make sure this podcast is, bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Once again, if the super chat is not your thing, it's all good in the neighborhood. You guys can go ahead up to GSMCpodcast.net. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Just remember to Superman punch that. Like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show. Follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity, 1,010%. So make sure you guys, go ahead and hit that up. But of course, in terms of talking sports, it's inevitable. Disagreements, and criticisms are going to happen. It's all good. It's all part, of talking sports with your friends, your families, your confidants, also other coworkers. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, if you want to talk about sports here at the GSMC Sports Network, we definitely do love and cherish your guys' opinion, and definitely, we want to talk about it. All right, so let's go and move on to our first segment. We got our AEW Dynamite review, and it was a good one. You know what? It feels like AEW Dynamite has been getting better, and better. I got to be honest. We were at the Eastern on the TBS network in Bridgeport, Connecticut, at the Total Mortgage Arena, and it was good. I got to be honest. A lot of AEW shows sometimes, kind of rub me in the wrong way. And I'm not trying to be a cynic. I'm not trying to be the cynic. I'm not trying to be that guy whatsoever. But it seems like ever since, Matthew Nicholas Jackson, Jack Perry, Kazuchika Okada, ever since they kind of took the back seat on this, the elite, the EVPs running behind the scenes of, all elite wrestling, ever since that storyline seems like it's kind of died under. It seems like it's been a lot better, and obviously, like I said, it's my opinion. But the Young Bucks from the get-go did not want this story to go through. It's already been reported. They mentioned in the news media. They're like, we're not really too enthused about this, but at the time, this is kind of what you need. And in case of the Young Bucks, in terms of AEW, if you think back, maybe like 6 to 8 months, you had big stars. Like Jade Cargill, and before that you had CM Punk, and before that you had Cody Rhodes. And you lost all those people, and it got to the point where you're like, what, okay, guys, it's all on our shoulders now. And sometimes not really suiting up to the point where you can, be that faction that you can ultimately be, which was a heel, which I don't feel like a lot of fans love to hate the Young Bucks. I got to be honest. The Young Bucks have been very international, in the wrestling independent circuit, so I'm not really too keen on being like, oh, screw the Young Bucks, they suck. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson don't really know what they're doing. The fact that they kind of, were in this EVP roles, I hated it from the get-go. I hated it. And ever since Okada came in around March, defeating Eddie Kingston for the AEW Continental Championship, which I think he should lose. He should lose that ASAP. And I got to be honest, him having the belt, it's not relevant with All Elite Wrestling. I'm sorry, but it's not. You have Konosuke Takeshita of the Don Callis family, the AEW International Champion. You have the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. You have the TBS and the TNT Champion. Everybody's in some storyline somewhere. Everybody has their purpose on Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage. But where's Okada? Where's Okada with the AEW Continental Championship? It's non-existent. So AEW, kind of something you got to get onto, but obviously time will tell. All right, so we have an opening match. The Hangman Adam Page teamed up with the Patriarch Christian Cage to take on the Bang Bang Gang, Switchblade Jay White, and Rock Hard Juice Robinson. This match obviously ended up with Hangman Adam Page getting the victory, building up momentum toward his match with Switchblade at AEW Full Gear. We had, what else did we have? Camille, in the backstage promo. You had Chris Statlander attack Mercedes Moné, driving her through a drywall, which was kind of funny. But at the same time, I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm not the biggest Mercedes Moné believer. Maybe every single time I feel like she cuts a promo, I'm like, when she was talking to Renee Paquette, she was like, you know what? How dare you? How dare you stand there and tell me I don't do this and that and the other. And it was got to the point where I was like, I, why should I care? Like, it got to the point where I was like, why should I care? Mercedes Moné was, introduced in AEW as a babyface. You know what I mean? But going as a heel, I got to be honest, I was on board. I was all for it. I was like, great job, Tony Khan, for doing that. I definitely love and respect that. But then after the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? Her with Camille, the way she's abusing her, like, it just seems like she's kind of reinventing, or not reinventing, that's not the right terminology. She's just kind of wash, rinse, and repeat how a heel should do with her like sidekick. Kind of reminded me of like a Shawn Michaels and like a Diesel back in the day, Triple H and the Animal Batista, and maybe I'm just too close to it. Like I said, obviously this is my opinion, 1,010%, but maybe I'm too close to it. So I'm like, you know what? If Mercedes Moné is going to come out here and be all she can be, if Tony Khan's going to go out there and give her the TBS championship, if he's going to give her the New Japan Professional Wrestling Women's Strong Championship, then you got to go out there and prove it to yourself. You can't constantly be hiding behind your muscle. Like, you know what I mean? And by all means, I understand the role of the heel within professional wrestling. You have that heel to kind of back you up. Like, look at what's happening with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Like, that's what happens. But, right, I don't know, I feel like Mercedes Moné, she has way too much credibility as a main event superstar who can kind of, hold her own crap. And, the fact that she's not going out there and doing so is proving the fact that a lot of fans are, and I'm a fan of Mercedes Moné. I was a fan of Sasha Banks in WWE. And to be honest, I feel like like I said, I'm not hating. What's the right word? I feel like it could be done better. And, I don't even know if that's the right wording, but I feel like it could be done, a lot better. Next, we have a promo. Will Ospreay calls out Kyle Fletcher. And we're going to have a match at AEW Full Gear with Kyle Fletcher taking on Will Ospreay. This is going to be a great match. This is going to be one of the best matches, obviously, on the main card of All Elite Wrestling's Full Gear. Kyle Fletcher is finally doing what he did in Ring of Honor. I'm surprised he didn't bring up his long reign as the Ring of Honor Television Championship, because he was indeed pretty impressive. And he had a chance to dethrone Mark Briscoe for the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship, but that did not really, come in fruition. And Will Ospreay right now, he's completely free. He does not have, he's not inside the contention of the AEW International Championship or the AEW, World Heavyweight Championship. So right now, this is the best time that you can possibly put these two impressive athletes against each other and put them in the match, and it's gonna be a match for the ages, And then you have the Don Callis family lingering in the back, and then you have Will Ospreay with the team, with his allies, and I like Kyle Fletcher. I've been high on Kyle Fletcher ever since I started watching Ring of Honor and TNA. Not TNA, sorry, excuse me, AEW. So I feel like he has a huge future. He has a huge role to play in the future of professional wrestling. So, why not give him the glory? Why not let him beat Will Ospreay at AEW's Full Gear? Why not? I would let it happen. I feel like it's got to happen at this point. So, it was a pretty good promo. Lance Archer lost against Roderick Strong. I wasn't really for this. I thought Lance Archer looked, with him losing against Roderick Strong, made him look a little weak. Konosuke Takeshita defeats Adam Cole via, the distraction, which I kind of knew was going to happen when you saw Roderick Strong win that match. Before then, you had Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Syndicate go ahead and lay a beatdown on Swerve Strickland and, Prince Nana. Once again, Prince Nana was shown that if Swerve Strickland does not, feel like he has to better himself with the Hurt Syndicate, overall, he's gonna get hurt. So, kind of crazy, but I feel like it's, it's best for Lashley. Bobby Lashley is going to be one of the best world heavyweight champions in AEW history, and I feel like it's going to be, just a matter of time. DMD, Dr. Britt Baker defeats Penelope Cruz in a match. We also saw Swerve Strickland obviously defeat Leo Rush. And, we had FTR lose against the Kings of Black throne of the team of Brody King and Malachi Black. So I thought I thought FTR was going to win, but, obviously, it is what it is. And, kind of bringing some different tag team turmoil inside of it. It's just, it makes for better wrestling. So, it's, what else happened on AEW's Dynamite? I'm trying to think. Nothing really big. Obviously, nothing really much. We're gonna find out Mariah May's next opponent. Obviously Harley Cameron challenged Mina Shirakawa, and it was their backstage promo was, just look it up on YouTube. Like, look at that. That's all I can really say. That's all I can really say. It was a little silly. Even Renee Paquette was like, you know what, guys? Like, calm down. Like, this is not what wrestling's all about nowadays. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, guys. So, hey, do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into my Thursday Night Wrestling preview. We're going to talk about Ring of Honor and TNA when we come back. So, hey, do not go anywhere.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
All right, we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday. Monday, it kind of sucks. Monday does suck, guys, but at the end of the day, we have a whole week of wrestling. We have Monday Night Raw, Tuesday NXT, Wednesday AEW, Thursday night Ring of Honor, TNA, and then Friday, of course, we have SmackDown. Find out what's going on with this new Bloodline Civil War. And we're gonna professional wrestling, they're that's the sports topic that kind of gets you through the week, obviously, with the NBA as well. I recently, it seems like whenever I work, I always I get done, I get off like around 7 and gorge myself with food because I'm starving, and it's it's always burping up, and I deeply apologize, but we're here to have fun. So definitely, if you guys have something to chat, be like, hey, dude, guess what, man? You burp too much. I'm just kidding. I'd be like, dude, no, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to, make it for my kids, trying to be, be all I can be in this world of professional wrestling. How dare you? I'm just kidding. No, moving on. All right, guys, we're going to talk about a Ring of Honor and TNA Impact, but before we get on into any of that, I want to remind you guys to go ahead and hit up that super chat right there. Shoot me your comments, questions, and concerns if you have a burning question or a hot take in terms of the world of professional wrestling here at the GSMC Sports Network. We are all ears, 1,010%. We just want to make sure you guys feel like you guys, your voice is part of the mix. Make sure you guys feel like you don't be shy and go ahead and drop those thoughts inside that chat. And if you really want to make sure your comment, question, or concern gets noticed, why not use that $sign? Hit it up, right next to that chat box, which basically guarantees every single time you guys put anything in that chat box is going to be featured on the show, maybe even debated about, even talked about on the GSMC Sports Network. So don't be afraid to, let it fly. Let it all out, guys. Don't be shy. Just let it all out. We are super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily on the GSMC Sports Network. Obviously, your support makes all the difference. So let's keep the conversation going. Let's send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome. And together, we will make sure this podcast is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Once again, at the GSMC, super chat, not your thing. GSMC super thanks, not your thing. It's all good in the neighborhood. Just, hit up the GSMC Sports, sports.net. Hit up the tips and donations link. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Just remember to Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show. Follow the show. Follow the network here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity 1,010% of the time. But of course, in terms of talking sports, it's inevitable. We have criticisms. We have, there's disagreements, and it's all good. It's all good. Feedback is a gift, 1,010%. So make sure you guys, don't be shy and, just hit it up. All right, today is my Thursday Night Wrestling preview. It's Thursday. You know what that means. AEW. I'm just kidding now. I got my Ring of Honor. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, here we go. Let's bring up these notes. Sorry. You gotta love technology. Technology sucks. I'm just kidding. No, we love ourselves some Ring of Honor. And tonight we have the Ring of Honor, a women's, television championship street fight between Red Velvet and Diamante. And we also have, damn it, why is this not working? Sorry, excuse me, we're having technical difficulties. Okay, there we go. Red Velvet takes on Diamante. Red Velvet, I gotta be honest, I'm a huge fan. I feel like she's been, next to that kind of, Billy Starks kind of, esque kind of champion. For me, I feel like Athena, MIT, I don't want to say it's dying. I don't want to be that guy. To be like, they're going to break up. Because your boy E here hates faction breaks, breakups in WWE. I'm over here heartbroken because I feel like the New Day's about to break up. And I'm like, oh, damn it, Xavier Woods, why? Why? Especially with Big E, that's like, Big E was like, you know what? Just hold out for like 6 or like 7 months and maybe I can come back. But overall, Red Velvet taking on Diamante. I see Red Velvet coming out the victory because I feel like she's been, she's the better wrestler. 1,010%. I feel like she's more dynamic inside the ring. Diamante obviously has a strong presence inside the squared circle. But, compared to Red Velvet, the reigning women's television champion, and, in a street fight, maybe Diamante might have that edge. But overall, I feel like Red Velvet's going to get, she's going to get it done. All right, next we have Abaddon taking on Viva Van. Viva Van has, I kind of got the thought that she was going to get pushed. She lost a couple matches, obviously not, back to back. But, her percentages probably recently has been like 35%. I thought she was going to be more of like a main name in terms of Ring of Honor, AEW. But it seems like that's not really what Tony Khan is trying to do. So maybe there might be some, storyline that she might fit into better. Maybe she finds her way into MIT. That could be, that could be pretty interesting. Abaddon herself is, pretty gruesome. She's pretty dominant inside the ring. She kind of presents that whole like weird factor in terms of professional wrestling. So, I'm going to put the dub on her tonight. I think Viva Van still is going to need a little bit of, with every loss comes an opportunity to learn what you've done wrong. Comes an opportunity to be like, I can do better than this. Comes an opportunity for you to be like, I can adjust A, to fix B, to be better, and fixate and defeat C. So that's definitely something that, Viva Van could have, she can do tonight even with a loss. Josh Woods takes on Commander. Katsuyori Shibata takes on Aaron Solo. The Undisputed Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett takes on the Grizzled Young Veterans, James Drake and Zab Gibson versus the Dark Order. John Silver and Alex Reynolds and the Gates of Agony. Bishop Khan and Toba Leona. We also have an emergency meme with Athena, Billy Starks, and Lexi Nair. Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes are in action. The Righteous, Vincent, and Dutch are in action. We're going to find out, what's going on, with that, tonight. So, should be pretty darn interesting. All right, now we're moving on to TNA Impact. Make sure you guys subscribe to TNA Plus to find out how to get all this awesome stuff. Recently, Mike Santana has been on a roll. Casey Navarro and AJ Francis made a pitch to Mike Santana to join First Class after Santana refused. Francis and told Navarro he needed to handle it. Now this week on Impact, we're going to see Santana and Navarro go head-to-head tonight. And, obviously we have a turning point tonight. We have Nick Nemeth taking on Brian Myers of, not the Elite, damn it, of the System. So that should be interesting. Rosemary's going to be in action tonight. We also have Ryan Nemeth in action against Joe Hendry. If you believe in Joe Hendry, we're going to watch and we're going to, talk about that match. It's going to be pretty damn awesome. Northern Armory reunites as Josh Alexander, Judas Icarus, and Travis Williams prepare to take on Eric Young, Steve Macklin, and Jonathan Grisham with tensions running high between Alexander and Macklin. Will they keep their focus on the tag team match, or will the rivalry boil over? Catch all the action tonight on Thursday Night Impact. Alan Angles and Jake Christ return to TNA as a team to take on the Rascals, with Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz, trying to jumpstart the Rascals' rebound session. Angles and Christ stand in their way. Will Angles and Chris derail the Rascals' momentum, or will they, be a stepping stone with Trey and Zach, when they need to get a win? So, all of it's available tonight on Thursday on Access TV, on TNA Plus. So, it should be pretty darn interesting, which kind of makes me think. I was like, I was reading, Ring of Honor. I was like, what? That seems like something that I've already read before. I don't know if it's like they're running it back. No, it seems like the 14th. So, obviously, might be running out of edge here. So, if something changes in the future, I'll let you guys know 1,010%. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next. Subject when I get this all. Seems like it's. When I get it all figured out. All right, guys. So hey, do not go anywhere. We're gonna talk about our next segment, our third segment. Obviously, we're gonna talk about Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio in a romantic comedy. Maybe we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna conspiracize it when we come back. So hey, do not go anywhere.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
All right, and welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling the Warrior Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here on the GSMC Sports Network to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside of the ring, backstage current calls, rumor, and drama. We talk about, superstar, inactive statuses, injury updates, and all that. Just kind of reflect on what we talked about real quick. We had our AEW Dynamite review. We talked about TNA and Ring of Honor. Now we're going to talk about Liv Morgan in an interview. I'm getting pretty gassy today. Dang it. Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio, possibly in a romantic comedy. Obviously, I'm not a huge guy for it. Honestly, this whole storyline. Liv Morgan obviously hit up the, super chat, tips and donations or whatever. So, make sure you guys feel like you're part of the show. So, personally, I feel like, can it happen? Obviously, no. But we're going to go ahead and talk about this, we're going to talk about it. All right. So, recently, obviously, after SummerSlam, you saw Dominic Mysterio align himself with the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Liv Morgan. And, Dominic Mysterio's wife wasn't really, she's a trooper. She's a trooper. Obviously, at the end of the day, you kind of know that you are, you kind of know that, hey, like, this is acting. Not acting, that sounds bad. This is, choreographed. This is entertainment. Sorry, excuse me. That's the right word. Entertainment. 1,010%. Dominic Mysterio is a proud husband. He's married to his childhood sweetheart, Marie. And he, on the inside with Chris Van Violet, Mysterio addressed his wife's feelings with current love storyline with Liv Morgan. He said, the kissing, with the whole kissing thing. And he said she's cool with it. And that's, that's interesting. That's interesting. She said she's cool with it. Surprisingly, we've been together since we were 14 years old. Damn, that's crazy. That is like, if you remember who you dated when you were 14 years old, I give you guys kudos first and foremost, because like, there's just, you go through life. There's so many, different spouses, significant others. And it gets to the point where you're kind of like, if I was married to the person that I was dating to when I was 14 years old, I got to be honest, I would, I don't think I'd be happy. I'm just kidding. No, but like, by all means, if you're a high school sweetheart, I give you guys my 1,010% congratulations. That's pretty sick. Not a lot of times that, that can happen. But, I guess they've been together since they've been 14 years old. So that's, that's kind of cool. He said, she's my rock. She's my rock, mate. She's my rock. After Rhea Ripley, of course, licking Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan kissing her. And at the end of the day, it's kind of like, hey, dude, it's all good. It's all good. So, that's, I don't want to compare apples to oranges here. Just like if you're an actor and, if your husband or your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your fiance, was, locking lips with another woman or another man, it could be a little testimonial. It could be a little, aggressive. It can be a little hectic. For me, at least, of course, I'd be like, damn, like, oh my God, like, that's crazy. But, I guess with the money that they're making, maybe it's worth it. I guess, I'm just kidding. No, but like obviously, if I had a, if I had a significant other in like, acting, I'd be like, you know what, you just gotta bite the bullet. You know what I mean? There, it's just acting, but at the same time, it's like, hey, maybe I can use acting to like, start hitting on other people. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. That's not the case. But I don't know. But just I don't know. For me, it's just funny. it's just funny that Dominic Mysterio's high school sweetheart, they've been dating ever since they're 14 years old, Marie, was like, you know what? Yeah, whatever, dude. Go ahead and go do your own thing. Or maybe Dominic Mysterio is that ugly that, I'm just kidding. No, just kidding. Moving on. Liv Morgan claims that Dominic Mysterio could be with her while they co-star in a rom-com. The WWE's World Heavyweight Women's Champion Liv Morgan wants to, wants people to see what she can do in terms of acting. She made an appearance in Chucky in 2022. She was in the movie The Kill Room in 2023, and recently speaking on the Pat McAfee show, Liv spoke about her interest in acting. She said, and I quote, "Dom and I can definitely be in a rom-com. He would be a fantastic actor. He's so intelligent." Morgan basically claimed to be in the Women's War Games match. She said, she's looking forward to a War Games match at Survivor Series, which is obviously a breath of fresh air to a lot of wrestling fans. Because, at first I was kind of like, okay, maybe they might not have a Women's War Games match. But the fact that Liv Morgan said in an interview that she's preparing herself for a Women's War Games match obviously gets me, gets my blood boiling. So I definitely love that 1,010%. So, I can't wait to see that. And, with Liv Morgan and, Dominic Mysterio kind of being in the rom-com, it could happen. It could happen. But, I don't think they can do it. And that's just me. I don't think they can do it. And like I said, I might be a hater. But, I'm going to go ahead and, go off a tangent here, guys. I have a little bit of time. Let me look at the clock. I have a little bit of time, just to kind of, give you guys my favorite rom-coms in my life. Obviously, if you guys have some favorite rom-com movies, hit it up in the chat to me. Tell me why you like them. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about some of these rom-coms that I love so damn much. All right, so we're gonna talk about, first and foremost, we have You've Got Mail. You've Got Mail with Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks. I've been a huge fan of Tom Hanks for quite some time, for so damn long. Obviously, Meg Ryan. She's all right. But, Tom Hanks, my favorite two, surprisingly, my two favorite Tom Hanks movies does have, it has nothing to do with Meg Ryan. Sleepless in Seattle, none of that. Definitely Forrest Gump. And definitely the movie Big. I don't know if any of you guys ever seen the movie Big, but it was pretty awesome. It was one of the best movies that made Tom Hanks' career, and ever since you got this movie with You Got Mail, and it's it's all right. It's okay. All right, next we have My Best Friend's Wedding with Julia Roberts. This movie was all right. This movie was very monumental because I feel like, obviously when I started, dating my wife, this is one of the first movies we've ever kind of seen together. So obviously, it has a place in my heart, but it was really good. Next, 13 Going on 30. Gotta love that rom-com 13 Going on 30. Mark Ruffalo and Jennifer Garner doing their thing, and it was pretty badass. 27 Dresses. Oh my God, I love this movie. Katherine Heigl, was amazing. What was the other guy's name? The other guy. Oh my God, I can't believe the other two guys. Kevin? No, not Kevin. Kenny? No, it wasn't Kenny. I can't think of their name. James? No. James? No. Damn it. I can't think of any of them. Eddie Burns. Eddie Burns was that guy on the left that you see right there. And it was, one of my favorite rom-coms. He's Just Not That Into You was one of my favorite rom-coms as well. Growing up, obviously this has nothing to do with wrestling. Liv Morgan said she can have an amazing rom-com actress and actor debut with Dominic Mysterio, so we're just kind of going off that. Fever Pitch, Drew Barrymore and Jimmy Fallon. Forgetting Sarah Marshall with oh my God, this movie was awesome. Definitely Russell Brand, also with Kristen Bell and Jason Segel. This is one of my favorite rom-coms for ever made. Oh my God, Ghost of Girlfriend's Past. Jennifer Garner comes out again in this rom-com with my man Matthew McConaughey, and it was magical. It was pretty magical. 50 First Dates, Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore. This is one of my favorite rom-coms. I gotta admit. And lastly, we got Just Friends. Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds and Amy Smart. Definitely one of the a handful of rom-coms. I was like, you know what? It's those are pretty badass. So a couple of honorable mentions. We have How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Fool's Russian, Sleepless in Seattle, 16 Candles, The Wedding Singer, There's Something About Mary, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Obviously, a couple of awesome rom-coms. But for me, obviously, my handful of favorites I just shared with you guys. So, I hope you guys liked it. All right, guys, hey, do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into our fourth segment. Jim Johnston, the long composer of WWE and the WWE theme songs. He leaves WWE. We're going to talk about that when we come back. So, hey, do not go anywhere.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
All right, and welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Lowry Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside of the ring, backstage curtain calls, rumors, and drama. We talk about superstar inactive statuses, injury updates, new signings. We talk about contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings. We talk about promotions from WWE to AEW to TNA to Ring of Honor, WCW in the past, ECW in the past. If it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show 1010%. All right, so without further ado, let's go and jump on into our next segment. We're going to go and talk about some good old-fashioned Jim Johnston leaving the WWE. Jim Johnston, he's been basically the theme song provider of WWE. And he's had a lot of good ones. And that's, obviously, I have my handful, of favorites. The legendary composer for WWE, Jim Johnston, has been fired / left from WWE. He's been there well than 3 more decades. He provided catchy and iconic theme songs that were great and that were so much fun to learn. The thing that kind of stuck out to professional wrestling, and that kind of stuck out to the media, to the fact that Jim Johnston and Vince McMahon only really obtained like a handshake deal. Sometimes, especially nowadays in terms of, business, there's so many papers with so many documents, with so many addendums, with so many check this, addendum here, letter in, chapter 5 of the contract. And it's just, this and that and the other. There's just so much writing on the piece of paper, just ink to pen, pen to ink, ink to paper to big contracts that you got hundreds and thousands of papers. It's it sucks. So Jim Johnston was like, you know what? If I get to avoid that, hey, dude, I'm down for it. Honestly, if I had a choice to be like, hey, if I can trust this guy to pay me, and I'm consulting with this guy every single day to find out if this is the right thing, then let's do it. So, just a handshake agreement, that's what it does. The verbal handshake, oral handshake as well. The verbal agreement and arrangement considered legally, it's considered legally binding. California recognizes oral contracts as a form of a binding agreement. People urge for written arguments, obviously, because it's harder to prove. Oral agreement in terms of, they did not, represent my contract. This and that and the other. On an interview with the Hannibal TV Johnston revealed him and Vince McMahon for years were, on a handshake agreement. Vince loved the fact that Johnston, would basically come up to him and be like, hey, dude, I'll do anything. You just name it. Basically, it quickly became, like a 24/7 role with, Jim Johnston. Jim Johnston was criticized for his music in modern professional wrestling as sounding relatively the same. Things really got political in a bad way. That's what Jim Johnston said. That's the reason why he left professional wrestling. Vince fired me, obviously, but he was like, well, I'm not, he basically told him that he was not renewing his contract. Johnston has continued to work with professional wrestling in the Ring of Honor kind of circuit. He's been with WWE from the mid 1980s to the 2017s. WWE relied on Jim Johnston to create entrance themes, obviously that promoted a lot of aggressive nature, because these wrestlers were like, these guys were the crap, bro. These guys were coming out there. These guys were the stuff, man. He's reportedly he added over 10,000 pieces, a lot of pieces, but a couple of top songs that he created was Metal by Kurt Angle. Well, not by Kurt Angle, but it was Kurt Angle's theme song, Metal. It was Light It Up, AJ Lee's theme, Stone Cold Steve Austin, No Chance in Hell, The Shield, Sexy Boy, Shawn Michaels, obviously, and The Undertaker's theme song. So a lot of great stuff. For me personally, I love Jim Johnston. I can, that's basically my workout playlist, bro. They fired my workout playlist. I'm just kidding. No, but moving on. We got Jake Paul taking on Mike Tyson on Friday tomorrow, so make sure you guys tune into that. But before you guys do that, find out all the know-how, find out all the backstage drama behind the fight right now when we dive into it in 25 seconds. So, hey, do not go anywhere. And we're back for the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, here to talk about professional wrestling. And without further ado, we're going to talk about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson going at it on Friday. It's going to be one hell of a match. Before we get into that, just want to remind you guys to hit up the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Shoot me comments, questions, and concerns. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and obviously hit up that super chat. And we're gonna talk about it. All right, so we have some Mike Tyson taking on Jake Paul, and let's go and dig on into it. Our tail of the tape, we have Jake Paul, the YouTube star, going against the heavyweight, the legend, Mike Tyson. Right off the bat, you have, age 27, 57, that's a 30-year, discrepancy. 10 fights, 58 wins, it's knockouts. It's not really going to be a match that a lot of people could, technically be like, all right, this is what's going to happen. This is exactly what people want to This is what people want to see. But, you know, I don't want to burst anybody's bubble. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be like, oh, it's just a publicity stunt for Mike Tyson. He's going to make money. Jake Paul, everybody, they're buying stuff on their pay-per-view. They're going to do it. And they're posting about it on social media, getting attention. I don't want to be that guy. I'm sorry, I don't want to be that guy. But I don't really think there's a lot, because Jake Paul, he basically came out and he said, he was like, you know what, I respect Mike Tyson as a fighter. I definitely think this is going to be one of the best fights in my life. We got to put the old guy to bed while we kind of embark on this journey of boxing that I'm basically gonna take over it. Mike Tyson, trying at his age, he's basically trying to show that his age is just a number, and going up against social media sensation Jake Paul. The two will fight at AT&T Stadium at Arlington, Texas. The event is streaming on Netflix. It's the first overall sporting event from Netflix. We're going to have 8 rounds with 2 minutes per round. It's going to be a fight, but more or less a generational, kind of blend of nostalgia and, how to work the fans, basically how to, just the case of modern showmanship. Because, in my opinion, I feel like my opinion, 1,010%, Jake Paul is like the Mike Tyson of how it was back in the day. And, obviously with this new, day and age with digital and social media, Jake Paul is, kind of towering over. But, Mike Tyson, he's one hell of a fighter, so I don't think that's that's really going to go anywhere. UFC CEO Dana White is good friends with Mike Tyson. And on the Jim Rome show, he said, and I quote, "I will not say anything bad about this fight because I love Mike Tyson. The only thing I hope is that Mike comes out okay in this fight, comes out healthy." Tyson, he was in action about 4 years ago in an exhibition match, going against his fellow legend, Roy Jones Jr. In late 1980s, Mike Tyson was amazing in the world of boxing as the WBC and the IWBF heavyweight champion. He was, running supreme. Tyson, if social media existed back in the day, he would basically, like I said, be like one of the Paul brothers, kind of killing it. WWE star Logan Paul is supportive of his brother. He said, and I quote, "Let's go, Jake. Let's go, Jake. Tyson, you don't even know, you're going to get knocked out in the first round. Yeet." So, that's kind of interesting. Logan was also, he was also offered a chance to take on Mike Tyson, but ultimately he kind of declined because Jake was a better fit in the boxing ring. In 2021, Paul clashed against Floyd Mayweather, which kind of went 8 rounds, which was which was impressive. Tyson was when he was 30 years old, he was a champion with a record of 45-2. And basically when Jake Paul was born, so that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Tyson slaps the taste out of Jake Paul's mouth at the weigh-ins, and Jake Paul said, and I quote, "I don't even I didn't even feel it. He's angry. He said, tomorrow you're going to get knocked the F out. It's personal now. He's gonna die." So. A lot of baggage, a lot of it's gonna be a good one. I'm not trying to throw shade at it, not trying to be like, it's like I said, it's not like a publicity stunt, or it's not like for both of them. Obviously, both of them are gonna get paid a lot of money, but I don't know. It's just gonna be interesting. All right, guys, I rapidly ran out of time. Ran out of time on the GSMC Sports Network. I usually try to run until 9 o'clock, but I run into 9:25. At the end of the day. It is what it is. The show's only an hour. So, obviously apologizing. But we're going to get into it, and we're going to have more wrestling podcasting tomorrow. So, hey, don't miss it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the GSMC Wrestling Warrior Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Remember to follow us on Twitter /X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook for more content and updates. Like I always say, hope you guys had a great day. Hope you guys had a great time watching the podcast. If I have not made you a wrestling fan by now, we have a whole bunch of other podcasts Podcast. Fantasy football, college football, football in general. We got sports all around with my man Nelson, with my man, Jeremy. We also have, my friend Emran starting the Dead Ball Podcast, starting in like 25 minutes. Make sure you guys catch that. But, until then, hope you guys, became a wrestling fan. That'd be, super dope. Look forward to tomorrow. We're going to have an amazing podcast tomorrow. So, hope you guys have an amazing Thursday. Hope you guys have an amazing Friday. Stay beautiful, but most importantly, love you.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go